Good morning, YouTube. I'm OGF. This is the Triumph Thruxton 400. I've just got it last evening, in fact, for a ride and review, and I'm going to share my 2 cents about it on today's breakfast ride. Welcome to the channel. Now, before we get into it, let me firstly just start off by apologizing for the placement of that secondary camera. I know I should be probably addressing you guys like this, but I just got the bike last evening. Didn't get the chance to really mount all of the cameras to where I wanted it to. In fact, I even tried mounting the handlebar mount at some point, but that never really worked out, so yeah. Also, I'd appreciate it if you watch this particular video using your headphones or earphones or a sound system that is good, because I want your feedback on how the audio sounds. Right now I am, for the first time on this channel, running a dual DJI mic mini setup, where there's one mic mini inside my helmet with that tiny mirror I don't think I can show you, and there's another one which is inside the cargo pocket of my Rhinox Advento Pro pants. So right now you're hearing my voice, but I'll quickly switch to the engine sound and show you what that sounds like. Yeah, and switching back to me now. Right then, with all of that out of the way, let's get to talking about this motorcycle. Now, this is the third of the 400 series from Triumph that we've had here in India. This one's probably the most purpose-built out of the 3 400s that we have from Triumph. I had a chance to ride the T4, which was a speed 400's, I don't want to say cheaper, but budget-friendly alternative. I had that on the racetrack during the Car and Bike award show, the Triumph Scrambler 400X, which I loved a lot. In fact, I like that more than the Speed 400. And now this, well, it reminds me, I don't want to sound old, but it reminds me of my youth and days when I was riding the RC 390. And across the line, I think they've done a brilliant job with the way they put these bikes together. Before getting into anything else, I just want to give Triumph due credit for the build quality of these motorcycles. Now let's start off with looks. It's subjective, I know, but let's start off with that, because while a lot of people have spoken about the Speed 400 and the resemblance it has to that, I think I want to draw your attention to something that I saw on Instagram on a story, I believe, that one of my friends, who was also part of the jury round of the Car and Bike Awards earlier this year, his Instagram handle is InstaSatu, and I'll link that in the description and put it on the screen for you to check out. In his story, Satyadeep mentioned that the Thruxton 400 doesn't really resemble the Thruxton so much as it resembles the Speed Triple 1200 RR. I'll put an image of the front cowl or the front fairing of the Speed 1200 on the screen, and I'll put this image side by side so you can see the resemblance that the two of them share. So you see the front leans more towards the Speed Triple 1200 RR, but the tank shape resembles the Thruxton a little more. And I think that's where there's a bit of confusion about what this motorcycle is. Is it a Thruxton? Is it a Speed? And I know that Triumph couldn't really call it a Speed Triple 400 because, well, it's a single cylinder. Maybe they could have called it the Speed Single 400, I don't know. Now also, if you're thinking that this is just a Speed 400 that has clip-on handlebars and is well, slapped on with some semi-fairing to make it look a little more sporty and retro, no, that's not the case. They have changed quite a few bits on this. The clip-ons apart, the foot pegs have also been placed a little further back, and I believe about 28 millimeters higher, and you do feel that, because the moment I sat on this after sitting on my Adventure 390 for the longest time, this felt way more aggressive than any recent motorcycle that I've had a chance to swing my leg over. I believe this is on par, if not more aggressive than the RC 390 that I previously owned, which was a 2015 RC 390 Gen 1. And that's saying a lot. Now the seat on this is lower than that on the Speed 400, but with that being said, since the clip-ons are low, you do feel like you're in a very tough position. And if you do decide to get aggressive with your riding stance, then it'll be very accommodating to that. They've got a nice long tank that they've managed to build. It is a bit slim, so there's really not much to grip onto, but yeah, it gives you that proper race bike or cafe racer feel when you sit on it. And if you're someone who's not been active or who isn't active and isn't fit, then you might start to feel aches and pains in your body pretty soon. I shared this before in my RC 390 days, that if you just grip the tank, then it takes most of the stress off your wrists and your shoulders and back. While there is a bubble visor sort of design that this front fairing has got at the top, it doesn't provide you that much wind resistance at higher speeds. You'd have to be pretty tucked in to reap the benefits of that. They have retuned the engine to give you 2 PS of power more, so that's 42 PS of power, and it still makes 37.5 Newton meters of torque. What they have done though is they've dropped the number of teeth that you have on the back sprocket. So this means that you don't get the same amount of initial acceleration, but you do hit a higher top speed. So you touch, I believe, 161. Wow, I fail to understand how these guys can ride at 90 kilometers an hour without a helmet. I mean, my eyes start watering just if I do 40 kilometers with my visor popped open. In terms of how this handles, I feel like this is on rails when you're riding it straight. It's very planted, and it's almost unnatural for a motorcycle to be this planted when it weighs just this much and it's just this size. Because I've been on the Continental GT as well. I've had a chance to ride the Vitpillion 250. Unfortunately, there's no bigger version of the Vitpillion currently available in India. But those bikes don't seem as planted as this does. And I know that sounds strange, but you have to ride one to be able to experience how that actually feels. And while that's the case, on a straight line, it doesn't shy away from tipping over when you want it to, thanks to these wide clip-on handlebars that they've given it. I think that the tail section on this could have been a little wider than they've made it, because it seems so narrow, and everything else on this motorcycle, the lines flow so well. There's a lot of curves on the bike, and then suddenly they've got that edgy tail light, which doesn't really, go well with the rest of the design. And again, owing to the fact that it's a tiny unit that they've put at the back, that doesn't really make too much sense. I would have still appreciated Triumph putting the same tail light that they put on the Speed and the Scrambler 400 on the back there, but this one looks a bit odd. It's nice that they've given it a 150 section rear tire, but I don't know, that kind of seems a bit off when you look at the tail light. The one thing I think Triumph has done really well with their 400s is the way they've set up the suspension. Now, there's no adjustability available on any of their units except for preload at the rear, but the front suspension is so plush on this, it's not even funny. I believe there's about 10 millimeters more suspension travel on this than the Speed 400. I'm a bit disappointed that they never gave it those fancy golden forks, but that's okay as long as it performs well. And I was surprised because I thought a cafe racer style motorcycle might not be so comfortable to ride around Mumbai, and even with our potholes, this front end has been able to absorb a lot of beating. I like that they've given these Thruxton 400s the Apollo Alpha H1. I remember having those on my RC 390, and they were brilliant tires. They were not unnecessarily expensive like the Metzellas are in India, but they offered a similar level of performance that the Metzellas offered. And I think they lasted me much longer than the Metzellas did as well. Alright, I'm going to stop for breakfast real quick, and then I'll be back with you guys in a bit. Alright, city review time, and just my luck, today I wear complete rain riding gear. It is completely dry. So yeah, such is life, I guess. Anywho, for those of you asking about the rain gear that I wear, please keep in mind that it keeps me completely dry, even in pouring rain, even on days when Mumbai gets flooded. Well, partially because I don't have to walk, so my boots are are dry, but yeah, otherwise my jacket and my pant are completely waterproof. This is the Zeal Rain riding gear. I'll link all of it in the description. Shima gloves and boot covers that I bought from Amazon. All of it's in the description, so do check it out. Getting back to the motorcycle. Firstly being the turning radius. It's got the turning radius of a large car. And while the wide handlebars are great for maneuvering the motorcycle, leaning it over like that, they're not so great for filtering through traffic. Add bar end mirrors to the whole equation and you've got a whole other set of problems too. So yeah, my lack of love, so to speak, for bar end mirrors continues to grow. And even here on the highway, for that matter, I'm having to always look way off the center line over here and where I'm supposed to be focusing to be able to take a glance at who's behind me or who's besides me. And that's not a safe thing to have. So finally, who would I recommend this to? Now, if you're someone who's already experienced motorcycles and you want to experience something different in your garage, then I think this would be right up your alley. But I think people who've reached that stage would already be making way more money than the asking price for this motorcycle, and because of that they'll probably look at something bigger. And I'm not talking about a 650 twin if that's what you're suggesting. No, I'm talking Thruxton or something a little more expensive than 4 to 5 lakhs. Maybe in the second-hand market also. Maybe something from Kawasaki as well. Maybe a twin cylinder from them. Maybe a street twin from Triumph. Who knows? But if you want a no-nonsense cafe racer, one that actually handles well, one that can put a smile on your face in the twisties, not break the bank, then I think this is a good buy. Additionally, if you're a college student, and I know a lot of kids nowadays looking at this old money fashion sense, I don't know what the hell that is. I'm completely lost with Gen Z right now. But if you're looking for that old money kind of look and you want something besides the R15s, the RR310s and other fully fared motorcycles that are in the market right now, then this is a good choice for you. If you're looking to tour, I don't think this is your ideal companion purely because of the tail section. Saddlebags may be your best bet for touring, but I think they might touch the exhaust, so that would be a problem. And two-up riding for a long time I don't think is ideal for a motorcycle like this. You're going to put someone through a lot of pain and not the nice type. Anywho, that's pretty much all I had for today. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you did not, please share your feedback. Also, please share your feedback about the audio on this video because it'll mean a lot to me. It'll help me tweak the settings further if I need to. As always, guys, at least wear your helmets while riding your motorcycles and ride safe. It's a freaking jungle out there. Goodbye.